My guest today was born in France, raised in France, first performed with the Ballet de Paris, and was even awarded the French Medal of Arts and Letters. And yet, ironically, she is better known as an American dancer. That is probably because she has been dancing with the New York City Ballet since 1958, where she has been sprinkling her French seasonings in that Balanchine company for those many years. In a recent article, Clive Barnes of the New York Times called her one of the most fascinating dancers in the world today. And I can add that she is also one of the most fascinating people in the world as well. Who is she? Well, the name on her passport reads Nellie Clark. That's right, Nellie Clark. But if that doesn't ring any bells, I'm sure you know her better as Violette Verdy. Violette, welcome. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
While I was doing that introduction, I was struck by the fact that you are perhaps the only French dancer in the last decade or longer who has made substantial impact in America. We've had a number of dancers from other countries who have made their name in America. For example, from Russia, Baryshnikov, Makarova, Nureyev; from England, Margot Fontaine; from Denmark, Peter Martins; from Italy, Carlo Fracci, Paolo Bartolucci; and even from such remote places as Iceland, we have people like Helgi Thomason. And yet from the country that invented the art of ballet, we have so few French dancers who have made it in America. Is this by chance, or is there any reason for this?
Well, I will have to try to analyze it to answer the question. First of all, my background, of course, is French, but my studies were made with Russian teachers in Paris, which in a way gave me a sort of wider schooling. Also, having met George Balanchine and now Jerome Robbins, seemed an extraordinary occasion to expand and to consider another development that I had never even dreamed of. So I was willing to adapt and to, of course, I'm very happy in this country.
Speaking of foreign dancers, we have a situation in America where most of the major American companies are headlined by foreign dancers, like yourself and Nureyev and Baryshnikov and American Ballet Theatre and New York City Ballet. Do you think this will continue, or that one day we will see a situation when there is more chauvinism in America?
Without chauvinism, I think that just simply because American dancers are so remarkable, one day there will be no need for any kind of European grafting here and there, or, you know, there won't be any need. It's like the grapes in California now, finally. You know, it's really so good.
You first hit American shores in 1953 with Roland Petit's company.
That's right.
Have you seen any change in dance in America or in dance in the world?
Oh, yes. I mean, everywhere. First of all, people are getting aware of ballet now, in this country particularly, and the audiences have grown. I mean, I don't know what the percentage is, but I think it's much more than 100%. It's incredible. It has boomed.
But there's still a lot of people who are still afraid to go see a ballet. What could you tell people to make them less afraid, less inhibited? They feel that it's either going to be too sissified or they feel it's too high class. What do you tell people to get them to try ballet?
I tell them that if they want to be happy, which is really what we all want, dance, in its widest sense, is one of the great necessities, just like music is. And so they shouldn't be afraid of ballet, which is just a historic form, really, along the line.
We have a number of people who are watching the show today, young people, who are probably dreaming of becoming a famous ballerina. Would you recommend ballet as a career? And if you would, what advice would you give them, or what warnings? Well,
a child is too young to know at the age where you have to start, which is 7 or 8 years old. So if the parents can see the talent and can guide the child until the child can take over, yes, if the talent is there, they should do it. If not, it is such a hard way of existing that I think you have to have the talent for it.
Would you give them any particular warnings, or things to watch out for in a ballet career?
In a ballet career? Well, you have to understand what it is really about, so that you really embark in something which is going to become your life, because it does become your life more so than what we call a second nature. It becomes your first nature, really.
Well, you've had a life full of applause and flowers thrown at your feet and adoring fans waiting for you at the end of a performance. In all this marvelous career, are there any particular moments that stand out for you?
Oh, I think all the time, understanding more and more what it is about. Understanding, which is the only thing important, understanding oneself and understanding the dance. Yeah.
Have there ever been, it sounds wonderful, but have there ever been any kind of negative
Oh, yes.
relationships to being a ballet? Has it hurt your social life or your personal life in any way?
Well, it has hurt my feet more than anything else because I have had many accidents, but many, many good repairs, thank God. Socially, I don't really know what is even a social life. I don't think I have one. I have very little private life. It's extremely modest, and it's spent most of the time to just repair myself to go back in what is so-called public life, which is my dancing and my work. I have very little private life of my own, really.
Well, when you say you have very little private life, what is your day like? What do you have time to do after the classes and the studios and the rehearsals and the performances? What else do you do?
Well, I have a very heavy schedule of concert appearances as well as dancing with the New York City Ballet. So also I do give little conferences and lectures about dance, of course. And I also look for talented young students for scholarships to bring them to New York City for summers and whole years. And I watch my colleagues work and dance, and I get involved in all sorts of projects. I really never have a complete quiet moment, somehow.
Do you miss the life of a normal person?
I don't think I miss it quite so much because, you know, if I had that much, I probably would have then gone into something else. I think that eventually I'm doing what I like best, no matter how I protest sometimes.
Or how hard it is?
Yes.
Even with the tours?
Yes.
I wonder how many people at home know how extensive ballet dancers tour. You must have done
we have
2
done
months
together,
of, we have
so
done
we
together
know.
2 months of one-nighters.
Yes, I have.
Getting on a bus for 8 hours and
Yes, I have.
traveling and performing.
Yes.
It's a hard life.
Very hard.
And I'm afraid most people
you
think...
almost lose your sense of purpose after a while, actually, really.
Oh,
it's
sure.
hard to maintain.
Sure. What are you planning to do when that horrible day happens when you have to hang up your tennis shoes?
It's getting there soon.
No, we hope it never happens.
Well, just turn around and take care of the others for a change, which I already love to do so much that it has been a temptation already to already do it. But I think I know very well that if you don't finish one thing, you're not so free and so wide about the next one. So I want to finish this stage of my life to feel free for the next one. Also, I'll know a little more.
But you don't want to open up little Violette Verdy ballet schools across the country, like Fred Astaire did?
No, I think I would be much... Well, first of all, I don't have that big a name. And second, I would love to be employed, and possibly more in a ballet company where coaching is required for roles, which I like very much.
And I hope you do it.
I hope so.
My guest today has been the marvelous, the fantastic Violette Verdy with the New York City Ballet. And if you ever have a chance to see her, do not pass it up. Thank you, Violette, for coming.
Thank you.